Episode 1, Rock Monsters.
Welcome, LEGO fans young and old,
And young inside,
to DosBrosTalkX, the official DBCX Podcast. I'm Andre, he's Nick,
That's
and
me.
Today we're talking about where LEGO rock monsters come from. Hey DosBro, in case some of our listeners aren't familiar with rock monsters, want to give a quick recap?
Sure. The first rock monster appeared back in 1999 in Rock Raiders, when a group of space travelers descended on an unknown planet to harvest its crystals for power. They encountered large, fearsome creatures made of rocks. They came in several varieties, including rock, lava, and ice-covered, and as different types of creatures. These creatures were only hostile once their crystals, their food source, were threatened.
Rock Raiders was the first theme to introduce unusual mining equipment and crystal-seeking miners, but it wouldn't be the last. Rock Monsters most recently appeared in 2008 as figures in Power Miners, the successor to Rock Raiders. This was one of my favorite themes. The colored crystals and vehicles were so cool. The rock monsters in this theme had different sizes and compositions. As the Power Miners dug deeper, they encountered new, more dangerous monsters made of molten rock. Again, the rock monsters were aggressive towards the Power Miners once the Power Miners burst into their habitat and started taking the crystals they ate. This can be seen in the official LEGO promotional videos.
But rock monsters are not unique to Rock Raiders and Power Miners. In fact, they appear in several other original intellectual properties of the LEGO company. The popular LEGO TV show Ninjago introduced a new variety of rock monster called Geoatomic Rock Monster in Season 7. As seen in the episode, the Geoatomic Rock Monsters are stationed to protect the treasure hidden there. They do not seek out targets beyond their sanctuary. The Geoatomic Rock Monsters seem to be a combination of classical rock and lava monsters. Considering Ninjago happened chronologically before LEGO City, the Geoatomic Rock Monsters could have evolved into lava monsters and rock monsters. Creatures similar to rock monsters appear in only few other situations. In Season 9 of Ninjago, Lord Garmadon creates a massive living rock titan to aid him in his takeover of Ninjago City. It is mute, immensely powerful, and obeys his bidding without question. In the third and fourth seasons of Nexonites, monsters made of rock are brought to life by Jestro and the evil Cloud Monstrux. But it seems that no matter the story, the rock monsters are always the villains.
Thank you for that analysis, bro. Their name, Rock Monsters, seems to portray them as villainous before the audience gets a chance to decide for themselves. Now, where did these rock monsters come from? Not in universe, we've got an upcoming theory for that. But in real life, how did the LEGO company create the rock monster? While researching real-world inspiration for rock monsters, one story of a living creature made of earth stood out. Have you ever heard of the Golem of Prague?
Nope.
According to Czech legend, the golem was sculpted from mud and clay and brought to life to protect a Jewish community in Prague from anti-Semitic attacks. It was created by a rabbi using his knowledge of old books considered to be religiously significant. The rabbi inscribed the Hebrew word emet, or truth, on the creature's forehead to animate it. Later, after losing control of the rampaging golem, the rabbi smeared clay on the golem's forehead, turning emet into met, the Hebrew word for death. This deactivated the golem. The golem was the protector of a community in need, powerful enough to ward off enemies the humans could not. When the Jewish people immigrated to the United States en masse in the 1920s, they brought this legendary protector with them. Many of the immigrants Americanized their names and became prominent comic book writers and illustrators, their stories inspired by the legend of the golem. Two Jewish teenagers created Superman by blending their personal experiences as refugees from another country with the golem's moral intelligence and strength. And the comic legend Stan Lee created the Thing, a human who can turn into an enormous, strong being with skin made of rock.
Oh, now that you pointed that out, that makes a lot more sense. The Golem was very much the precursor of the superhero because every society needs a character that can fulfill wishes, often as a protector. The Jewish people had a being that could be adapted to the American public, which resulted in heroes such as Captain America. The legend of the Protector Golem has been adapted many times since the 1920s. The Golem is the prototype for superheroes such as Marvel's Hulk and other characters that are strong but not creative. The Golem is really a story about the power of moral intelligence, treating everyone fairly and justly, but protecting them when necessary.
We've taken a look at the Golem and at rock monsters in LEGO. How likely is it that the LEGO company was inspired by the Golem legend? The LEGO company is headquartered in Billund, Denmark, which is close to the city of Prague in the Czech Republic, so the Golem's influence on culture and ideas could also be greater. It's probable that LEGO's rock monsters are inspired by the story of the Golem. Let's analyze the rock monsters considering the Golem's characteristics. Just like Nexo Knights and Ninjago, Power Miners and Rock Raiders both play out from the perspective of the humans. If we consider the perspective of the rock monsters, the Golem inspiration is evident. Much like the Golem, rock monsters are much larger than humans and much stronger. They are made of earthly materials, though their composition is more rock than clay. In each of the LEGO themes, rock monsters are naturally occurring and peaceful unless provoked, though they can be created artificially to serve as powerful weapons. After Rock Raiders, Power Miners, and Kai and Nia invade their space and take something that belongs to them, the rock monsters become hostile, but only after being provoked. The crystals the miners want are the rock monsters' food source, so when rock monsters fight back against the Power Miners, they are the Golem protecting their community from invaders. Garmadon's Rock Titan and Jestro's rock creatures are examples of what can happen if the enormous power that is the Golem is misused by villains. In each case, a backup plan to counter each would have been immensely helpful to the heroes, much like with the original Golem when it began to disobey and was out of control. The story of the Golem has inspired everything from comic books to LEGO storylines. The idea of Earth coming to life to become a powerful protector is a captivating one. It can symbolize the natural powers of the Earth, or the devastation that can be wrought by controlling powerful weapons. Exercising moral intelligence is important when in possession of great power, because the line between a protector like Superman and a dictator like Lord Garmadon is an easy one to cross. Much like the original Golem, having a way to counter or deactivate the powerful weapon is imperative, in case the consequences turn out greater than foreseen.
Thank you for listening to DosBros Talks, the official DBCX podcast. To hear our theories on the true origins of rock monsters, subscribe to our YouTube channel, DosBrosComiX with an X. Rock monsters have a missing history, we filled with extensive lore, including a custom-designed language. They are scheduled to appear in Rockaboy Episode 8. Like Rockaboy Episode 8 is ever gonna come out. Don't put that in the final take.
This episode was made possible by the Canon printer. Have you ever stood by your printer dispensing page after page and wondered if there's a more exciting alternative? Thanks to a partnership between Boomco and Ink Incorporated, the Canon printer is here. It can blast your document anywhere within a 5-block radius, and for quick delivery it shoots the page and then sprays high-speed ink onto it. The Canon printer. Words can hurt you. The Canon printer is not a toy. Do not use the Canon printer in direct sunlight, highly populated areas, or windy conditions. Do not aim the Canon printer at living things. Do not unplug the Canon printer during a print job. Do not use ink canisters at less than 60 psi. Failure to follow these instructions may result in serious injury, bodily and financial harm, and/or misprinted documents.
Thank you for listening through the end, and have an awesome day.